Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm C, also known as C's Library, and for today's video I'm going to do a little haul for my recent Portland trip. My boyfriend and I recently just took a long weekend trip to Portland. It was kind of a spontaneous decision. We planned it all within like the last month, and that's just because we had the vacation day to use. And so we went to Portland and we went to a lot of bookstores because, as you know, they are famous for their bookstores, including Powell's. So I have a lot to show you guys. Let's start with Powell's. I will say I came home with 17 books. So we're gonna start with the 4 that I bought from the Powell's bookstore. My first book I bought was This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, and honestly this was just so interesting to me, this cover here. I loved the back didn't tell me much about what it's about, so I looked it up on Goodreads to see like a bigger synopsis or whatever. So I ended up being interested in this one and I got it, and it was only $9 at Powell's. So that's my first book. Next book I picked up was The Isle of the Gods, and honestly I don't usually like books with real people on the covers. I will say this looks a little bit more designy, but honestly just the synopsis, the plot of it on the back really interested me. This one I got for $6.98 at Powell's. I'm excited for this one. This is probably going to be read soon. The next book I got is Starling House by Alex E. Haro. I've really liked a lot of Alex E. Haro's works, especially the smaller ones, the remakes of Cinderella and things like that. I've loved a lot of her reads. I don't own any of them because all of them I rented from the library, so this is technically the first one I own from her. I haven't read this one yet. I'm excited to read it. She does really amazing work. And yeah, this one I got from Powell's for $12.98. This next one I got is the first one I actually picked up at Powell's, and I knew I needed it. And this is called The Universe in Verse, and it's by Maria Popova. And basically this is just a bunch of different parts of the universe broken down into like the poetry that's written about it, also with an explanation about that. There's beautiful illustrations in it, there's beautiful poems in it. I'm really excited for this one. I love the universe, the science, the nature of all of this, so I feel like this one is right up my alley, and I'm really wanting to read it already. So that's this one. Oh, and it was $10.98 at Powell's. My next collection of books I got from the Summer Story Fest that they had going on in Portland while I was there. I only went on the Saturday, and it was a cute little event that they had full of zines, books, all these other things, storytelling really, and it was put on by Outlet PDX and Honeyed Words, one of the bookstores there. And so I have these collection of books from that. I picked up this. It's called Pile Press issue number 8. It's published by Pile Press, which is one of their local press that work towards publishing for women, non-binary, creatives, just diversity. And they publish these collections of poetry, nonfiction, short fiction, photography, art, etc. into these little books. And this was the one that called out to me the most. They had other ones and I honestly wanted to get them all, but this is the one I got to give it a try. The next one I got is called The Penance of Valentine Cash by Rebecca Rook. And this was one of the local authors that was actually there, so she signed it. I thought it was really interesting. It was actually pretty cheap. I think it was like $13.99 or something like that. And this one it sounded interesting. Essentially the character dies, and to come back if she wants to, then she has to follow all these trials, and if she fails, then she dies an everlasting death. And so I think it's interesting. I'm excited to try it. It's not one of my usual reads, but it looked really cool, and I was glad to have the author there to talk to about the book. These next 4 I got from this like little free library thing they were having there. We didn't feel comfortable just taking a bunch of their books, so we donated to them in exchange for the books. But it was really cool because you know how little free libraries are. You take a book, you leave a book. Well, their only thing here was that you could take the books. They just wanted you to at least share it and get word out about this because they are really cool. This little free library that they put up all over there. is for diverse reads specifically. So all of these reads that I got are very diverse, very cool, very interesting, and I think they're going to teach me a lot, honestly. So let's get into what those four are. This first little one really caught my eye when I first got to the booth. This is On Tyranny, 20 Lessons from the 20th Century from Timothy Snyder. And I think there's a lot to say about this, but I don't want to get too political, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. I think it's really interesting and I think it's really relevant, so I'm gonna be excited to read this and see what lessons I will learn from it. This one's been on my list for a while, and that is How to Protect Bookstores and Why: The Present and Future of Bookselling. This is by Danny Kane, and I had this on my to buy list, and I saw it there, and I felt like this really calls to me because I do love my bookstores. I mean, a lot of us do, but I've always wanted to make the change towards protecting them. They had a lot of really cool things, like about not utilizing Amazon, like how to not use these big companies and stick to the indies. And I think that's something that Portland does really well, because the indie stores there are thriving so well. And yeah, I was really entranced by this and I wanted it. Since I don't think I mentioned the name of the Little Free Library yet, this is the Rock Creek Little Free Diverse Library. I think that's what it's called. And you should go support it if you are in the Portland area, or if they're nearby you. You can look them up. I think they're amazing. This one was also on my list already, and that is How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But when this first came out, there was a lot of buzz about it. I thought it was really interesting. I don't want to get too political again, and I honestly don't think it should be politics. It's basic human rights, but I feel like there's so much to learn if we give people the space, and I'm excited to read this one and see what I will pick up and learn from this. This next one is A Universe of Wishes, and it's an anthology, so there's multiple different authors, including, let's see, V.E. Schwab, Samira Ahmed, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Jenny Balch. Honestly, so many different authors, and I'm excited to see this because I think from what I'm learning about it, it's a diverse fantasy anthology, like short stories, which always sounds interesting to me. So that's this one. The next 7 I got from Barnes & Noble. Again, I feel bad about this because I really do want to support all the indies, and I hope that I did support a lot of them. But this is from Barnes & Noble because this specific Barnes & Noble was turning into a warehouse or something like that. All I know is they had this store specific. Everything was 40% off, and we got there at 6:15, and it was closing at 7, and so I had 45 minutes to scour around because I didn't know the sale was happening. Otherwise, I would have booked out more time for this. We honestly weren't going to go to Barnes & Noble at all during this trip because there were so many indie booksellers, but we got back to the hotel really early, and there's the mall right behind where our hotel was, so we were like, let's go check out the mall real quick. We walk in and it's crazy in there. Like, the Barnes & Noble is full, the lines are long. We're like, what is happening? And there's just a huge sale going on. So clearly feeling the stress of a time limit and all of that, I did manage to get a lot of good books, and I'm excited to read these, so let's get into what those ones are. I got Legend by Mary Lou. This was on my books recommended, my 6 friends, 6 books this year. I can't really remember which friend. I think it might have been Nico that recommended it. All I know is that I've been wanting to read it anyways, so I found this, and I got it for 40% off, so that's that one. My next buy was Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Strangely, if you know me, I own Wisteria and Foxglove, but I don't own Belladonna, so now I've completed the series. Belladonna was my first read in the series. Obviously, I didn't skip out of order, but I just read it on Kindle Unlimited, and so I bought the other books because I was interested in the series, but I never bought this one, so now my collection is complete. I had been wanting this series for a while, and so I got these first 2 books there, A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic by Jay Penner, and A Fellowship of Librarians and Dragons by the same author, obviously. They are both sprayed edges. They're both really pretty. I was called to the second book, obviously, because the Librarians and Dragons, those are like my 2 favorite things. But obviously I don't want to skip out of order, and I think they're going to be cozy, fun reads, so I'm happy I got these ones. My next book I got was A Multitude of Dreams by Mara Rutherford. I'm not good at names, so just ignore that. And this one has also been on my list. I thought this one looks really cool. I also like the way that it like shines on parts of it. But I couldn't resist 40% off of this one because I haven't seen it on sale before. So I'm excited to get to this. Next up, I got Demon in the Wood, a Shadow and Bone graphic novel, obviously by Leigh Bardugo, and then Danny Pendergast. Sorry, I really don't know how to pronounce names. I hope that's fine. And I also haven't seen this one on sale before, so 40% off was crazy for me. And this is a Darkling's origin story. I really loved all of the Grishaverse. I am so excited to get to this one. I also love graphic novels, so I felt like this was such a fun addition to the series for me. And finally, but not least, I got The Grammar of Fantasy by Gianni Rodari. And from what I can tell, this is not the first edition of it. Like, it's been published a while ago, like in the 1900s. But this is a new version of it, re-edited or whatever. Honestly, it just sounded really interesting to me. It is talking about the acts of storytelling, which I love. So that's this one. And it's a pretty hefty book, like heavy. But it's just really pretty inside. It sounds really interesting. I'm excited to read it. Besides just books, I also got a lot of zines from the Storyfest event, so I wanted to show you some of those. These are all the free zines I got at the Storyfest, and I think they're all so cool, and I'm so excited to look through and read these. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to hold all of them though. My boyfriend and I also made zines of our own, but I'm not going to share those because I think mine was pretty personal and his isn't complete yet. But I enjoyed making them, and I'll probably make some more zines. I don't know. And then here are some of the zines that I bought. I got quite a few because I thought they were really interesting, so I'm excited to show you guys these ones. I'm kind of just flipping through them quickly because I want to respect the artist's work and not just show off like what was sold. Because you should go support them on your own, and I really think these are really cool ones. So I'm just kind of briefly going to flip through them so you can see some of the artwork and the style, but I'm not going to show too much of them. And that's it for my zines, but I got a lot of other merch, so let's see some of those ones. My boyfriend and I are starting to collect postcards where we're going to put our pictures on the back and just a little bit about our day, just to keep them with our photos and whatnot. I think this is a really cool idea. It was his idea. I like to do my memory journal, but I feel like this is a cute addition to like flip through quickly the different places we've been specifically. So we got some from the Rose Garden, from Powell's, and from the zoo. I got this little sticky notepad from the Story Fest. I think it's really cute with these bunnies and stuff on it. And it's on every page. I think this one's really cute, so I'm excited to use that in my journaling and whatnot because I think it's just so pretty. It's not focusing on it though. There we go. My boyfriend got me this little keychain with a quote from Throne of Glass at Powell's. I thought this one was really cute, and so I will show you guys that one. I got some cool bookish stickers to use, so I'm going to show you guys those ones for my Kindle and whatnot. I honestly got a lot more stickers, but those were the ones that are bookish related, and I don't want to take up like 30 minutes of a video just showing non-bookish related stickers. So those are some of the ones I got. I also got these two sticker sheets from my journal because I thought that the style of them is really cute, so I'll show you those real quick. Then I got this cute little Kindle charm at Grand Gesture Books. I'll give you a close-up of that one too. I also got this sweater from Grand Gesture Books because I want more bookish clothes. I got it in a large because I really like how baggy it is on me. And I also got a tote bag. They had one in a similar color, but I felt like the green would go with more of my outfits versus the red would only probably go with this sweater because I don't have a lot of red. So I'm gonna use this tote bag as well often, probably, because it's cute. And so those are the things I got from there, as well as the charm, like I said, and a few bookmarks and whatnot. I thought they were cute. I liked their bookstores, very cozy. I also got this really cute tote bag from Literary Arts. I thought that was one of the best bookstores I found there. I thought it was really cozy. They had like a little cafe that was like connected to it, but not like how Starbucks is connected to Barnes & Noble, more like it was like integrated into it. It was part of it. It was really fun and beautiful, and I loved all their collections and their books. So I wanted this tote bag to remember it by. It's also one of those wider tote bags, so I feel like this can hold a lot of books. And then I just got one of these cheaper Powell's bags to hold my books from them, but I still wanted to show it because I love that it says Powell's on it, and I'm going to be using this quite often for groceries probably. And then I bought a lot of bookmarks. There's even more than these ones. These ones are the kind of ones I narrowed it down to, but I'm just going to show you some of my favorites of these. Then just a small little stationery haul from Muji there. I got a new content planner. I'm excited to use this. I might actually include it at the end here of me setting it up and preparing the planner for its use this year. This one starts in August and goes to next August. and I think it's a really cute one. I wanted a smaller size one that I could bring with me. I also just felt like the other one, I was running out of space in it, and I felt like this one gave me some more space to jot down my ideas. Some new Muji pens, because I like these little clicky pens. This is a set of 5 notebooks, and it was only like $5.90 for all 5 of them. And I like the sizing of these, give a lot of space for me to write out my ideas on. So I got this pack. I grabbed this A5 binder because I've almost finished with my drafting of my first book, and I wanted to kind of concisely put down my ideas so that way it's easier for me to follow. Again, this is a first draft, so it's not very clean. So in here, I'm going to try to organize it a little bit better. I have a folder like this, but it's too big in size. I thought the A5 felt a little bit more bookish size for me, so I'm going to use this for that. I obviously got some paper refills for that. I got 1 pack of 200 pages of the lined ones. That's what I'll basically be using most of it. And then I grabbed a smaller pack of the grid paper, just in case I have more creative ideas that I feel like I need some more sketching space or things like that. So I grabbed those as well. The last thing I got for that is this little pocket zipper that you could put into there in the front of the binder. I'm going to use this for like more scrappy ideas that maybe I ripped out of my previous notebook about this book and stuff, just to collect my thoughts and stuff before writing it down in there. So that's what these are for. And that's about it for my haul today. I feel like I got a lot of good things. If you guys want to stick around, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of my journaling of this trip, my little memory journal that I keep, and then also setting up my content planner that I just got. I'm excited for both of these, so stick around if you want to. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around this long. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more bookish content. And hit the bell icon if you want to see what I'm going to be doing next. Until next time, happy reading. And this is this one. Now I'd like to talk about some of the zines I got while I was there. I bought a lot of bookmarks, so I'm just going to show you some of my favorites. And have a great day.